Welcome to Corwin's 5-minute tutorial on how to build a vehicle with inertia drive. Inertia drive is really simple. All you need is 4 basic elements: a seat, an inertia drive block, a WASD breakout, and a button. Let's get to it. To build your vehicle, it can be any shape, any size. It doesn't matter what material you use. It doesn't have to be balanced. You don't have to maintain low center of gravity. The way inertia drive works is it detects the weight of your vehicle, of each of its blocks, gets the gravity force, and applies an appropriate amount of counter force to keep it neutrally buoyant in the air. That also means, unfortunately, that if you make your vehicle more complex, for example, by adding a bearing or a piston, this effectively are 2 separate blocks, 2 separate parts of the vehicle. If you put your inertia drive on this part, the inertia drive will not be able to detect this portion of the vehicle, which means it will be unbalanced. It's a side effect that at the moment cannot be counteracted, so just keep that in mind. This is something you will have to deal with. Let's get to building the actual vehicle. Put down inertia drive. You can use either this one from MJM mod or the smaller one that looks a bit like a ball. It's much smaller, micro inertia drive. It has the same functions, the same power. There is no difference, only in size. Now let's put down the seat. And let's connect these together. Now, the seat is not able to send direct signals to the inertia drive. It is also recommended that you use the seats from MJM mod because they're fully compatible. You could use the vanilla seats, but their functionality is limited. Let's put it that way. What you need to do now, in order to tell the inertia drive how to steer, where to go, is put down WASD breakouts. Okay, WASD typical configuration, up and down. What we need to do is take the connection from your seat, connect it to the breakout. In the breakout you can see a lot of options. This basically functions as a logic gateway. If it detects the appropriate input, it sends a positive signal. So WASD. Now we cannot connect the WASD breakout directly to the inertia drive. Instead, what we need to do is use it as I said before, logic gateway, and connect it to a button. So the seat is connected to the logic breakout, the breakout is connected to the button, and the button is connected to the seat. Okay, we have these. That. Okay, and now this one will be there or wherever. Now we can make it there. Just as an example. Okay, now The seat is connected to the WASD breakout. Let's connect it to the appropriate button and to the inertia drive. Let's do the same thing for each of these. Good. Now with that done, we need to select the control schema. So W, S, A, D, and let's go with left click, right click as up and down. Up, down. Now, we have all of these things connected, but we still need to select which button does what with the inertia drive. To do that, we hit the U key on your keyboard to select function, which is why I recommend using buttons from the MJM mod as well. And here we can choose individual functions of the inertia drive. So W for forward, S for back, A for your left, D for your right, left click for up, right click for down, and we almost forgot the most important button of them all, which is the power button. The power button is what actually activates the inertia drive. Now, I don't understand why this is one. Okay. The power button activates the whole inertia drive. Select function, power. Now, power is on your one key. On top of that, I strongly recommend to use another button, which you will map to your, let's say, space bar. And that button will be connected to emergency lift. Emergency lift is something that will put you back into the center of your world. So in case you get flung off world and your game becomes very unhappy with you, you can just stop panicking. Do not get out of your seat. Just hit your safety key, the space bar or whatever you mapped it to, and it will work. It will put you back into the center of the world, put your creation on a lift, and turn it off. That's it. Well, this seems it's connected. Now we need to actually set up the inertia drive. One thing we need to realize is all of these values are way too high, way too high. It would be super janky. So what we need to do is lower the essential values, lower what you're going to need to use. For this use case, we are going to turn on the auto level pitch and roll, which will automatically balance your creation as it's flying. Power actual means forward and back. Let's start with something very basic. Let's say 10. Power lateral is left and right. We're not using that one, so let's ignore that. Vertical, that's up and down. We are going to use that. Let's start with something basic as well. 10. Power pitch, roll, we're not using. Power yaw, that is literally turning left and right. So let's also start with something basic. 10. Damping should in general be about 2 to 4 times the power for a good feeling. This is way too much. This is an instant stop. So let's go with say 40. And 40. 40, 40, 40, 10, 10, 10. Okay. Power antigraph is how much of the weight will be supported by the inertia drive. That we're leaving that at 100%. Auto level pitch, this is way too high. This would be super janky. Auto level pitch, usually around your just basic force. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depends on how you want to play it. So let's go with 5 and 5, which is half of the basic force. And I think we're set up. Let's give it a try. Well, that seems to be working. Everything except turning left. What is the problem here? And I see the problem is that I didn't connect the breakout to the button. Huh. That is interesting. Yaw left. And I didn't connect the breakout to the seat either. Silly me. Now it's working. So as you can see, all of these functions work. If you happen to bump into something, it will automatically stabilize itself. It has just the right amount of momentum. That's pretty much it. Very simple, very easy, and simple to set up. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I don't know if it was 5 minutes, probably not. So, yay! Have fun!